Does Guyana have like a dialect, or actually, I'm very curious about it, or like a name that you, because we, Jamaican patois. Like, do you have a name for the language, or
No,
something?
I don't
No.
think there
Okay.
is a name for the language.
Okay.
We just call it the Guyanese accent, or we call it
Okay. Okay.
Caribbean, or whatever we call it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds similar to patois, but if you're a careful listener, you can notice the differences.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and technically, I mean, I don't know. There's been a debate on like, is patois a language or not. I say no. I think it's a dialect, but some
Yeah, I
people
think
would
it's
argue.
because like you use the same words as English, but it's
Yes,
just
exactly.
used with different context.
Yes, yes, for sure. You want to get into the fun questions, Bree?
Yeah, yeah, and just like a little comment on that. Like, yeah, I agree too about the language. I like feel very strongly about this because I don't know. It like bothers me when people are like, "Oh, it's a language." Like, no, and we do have certain words. Like, there are different words. Like, there are certain words that they say that obviously are not like used anywhere else. But yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
more
one
like
that comes to mind immediately is like "bye," like to say boy or gal for girl.
Gal.
Like it's
Oh,
spelled
yeah.
differently, it's said differently. There's like also like all the family member like names and things like that. The way you reference them, it's not words that are words in English, but they
Right.
mean the same thing and they sound similar.
Or they just like phrase words differently, like I don't know. For patois is like they don't say the sound; they say like past the ting.
Yeah, they also
or the like,
Yeah.
or they say me a lot instead of like I did this, like me.
Yes,
You know,
yeah,
you know what I
same,
mean. That kind
yeah.
of stuff is the So that's where the little nuances are. Awesome, that's cool.
Yeah, or like spread the bed instead of make the
Yeah,
bed,
certain
which
little
I
phrases.
still
There's
can't.
there's things I've learned
Or
when I went to
cut the
college.
lights, like cut the lights
Yeah,
off.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's things my husband
Yeah.
has pointed out. He's like, "You mean make the bed?" I was like, "What?" I said, "My mom always said spread the if you spread stuff on a sandwich." I was like, "I don't know. This is what I've.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, certain things.
There are also parts of the language that I didn't realize how deep the accent went. So, like, one thing that took me forever to get over is saying three. Because I say tree every time. Like, every now and then you'll hear me in some of our meetings where I'll say tree or this or or that. And, like, I'm dropping a lot of the H's.
Yeah.
And it's subconscious. Another thing I couldn't get was calendar. Because the way you say it is calendar. Like, you're like, oh, go back to calendar. And, like, you drop so many syllables that every now and then it just comes out. I'm like, oh, man. It just slipped out. There you go.
Yeah. It's funny how you
my
pick up.
word is.
Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, I was just gonna say like I don't know if you do this too, Alyssa. Like condense. I can't say condense. It's like always like condensed milk.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yes.
Condensed. They do
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't. I said that wrong for so many years. But you don't realize it's wrong, I guess, until somebody like points it out. Or like, oh.
Yeah, and
okay.
nobody ever points it out because you're either talking to someone who's making the
Exactly.
same mistake or they're being nice and they're like, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But like when you don't have an accent, at least I've had friends call me out, but my mom said that no one's gonna say anything. But like, it's like, why did you pronounce it like that? So
Yeah.
I totally get it. That's funny. It's cool to see the similarities between the two.